Hello everyone. I believe chemistry is everywhere. Chemistry is also related to exercise. Let's see how. All of us are aware about benefits of regular exercise in preventing and treating various diseases, including heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. Still, we are very reluctant to do exercise on regular basis. Why? Do you know that? Homeostasis is the reason. When we are at rest position, there is a tendency of body to maintain a stable internal environment for cells by narrowly regulating critical variables such as pH or acid-base balance, oxygen tension, blood glucose concentration, body temperature, etc. When we start doing exercise, our muscles and blood becomes more acidic. Blood oxygen and glucose levels must be regulated to prevent them from falling below normal levels. Body temperature increases activating thermoregulators processes. This necessary adjustments of body in response to a single bout of exercise causes physical stress. And we do not like physical stress. That's why we stop doing exercise at initial phase. Here is the solution, which is stated in overload principle. If you habitually overload a system, it will respond and adapt. Basically, when you engage in physical activity, the stress imposed by a single bout of exercise elicits an immediate or an acute response by the body. If you exercise on regular basis for several months, the body will make long-term adaptations to the repeated stress of regular exercise, and the body which is repeatedly stressed will adapt to chronic overload. But doing exercise needs fuel to do the exercise, and that is called chemical currency of exercise. In the late 1800s, it was believed that protein was the most important energy source during exercise. This belief gradually changed in the early 1900s when research showed that carbohydrates and fats both were important fuels. ATP is the chemical currency used to supply the energy needed for muscle contraction. When this high energy phosphate is broken down, it releases a tremendous amount of energy to the cell, initiating muscle contraction. Of all the high energy compounds in the body, only ATP can be used directly to supply the energy needed for mechanical work of exercise. ATP so important for regulating the energetic needs of body when going from rest to exercise. This ATP is coming from different forms of macronutrients. The concentration of ATP in muscles is extremely low at rest. Therefore, it is difficult to continue exercise for more than several seconds at initial phase of exercise. But its production increases when we go from rest to some maximum exercise or do exercise on regular basis, and the rate of ATP utilization by the muscles increases dramatically. There are three main ATP producing pathways related to fat, carbohydrate, protein metabolism. The complete oxidation of these macronutrients leads to the eventual production of ATP in the mitochondria of muscle cells. As you can see in the diagram, fats, polysaccharides, proteins, which are the macronutrients, further decomposed into the simpler substances during the oxidation process. Fats into fatty acids and glycerol, polysaccharides into glucose and other forms of sugars, protein into amino acids, and all these produces acetate in the form of acetyl-CoA enzyme. This acetyl-CoA enzyme is involved in citric acid cycle. The citric acid cycle is a series of chemical reactions used by all aerobic organisms to release stored energy in the form of ATP. This supplies electron to the oxidative phosphorylation and enables ATP to convert into ATP. And it consumes oxygen during this process. And that's why it is said that rate of oxygen consumption increases during exercise to sustain the increased requirement for ATP production. Last, we will see use it or lose it concept, which is also known as reversibility principle. In response to weeks and months of endurance training, a classic chronic adaptation causes increase in mitochondrial number and oxidative capacity in skeletal muscles. But once you stop doing exercise on regular basis, it will result in return to the baseline or pre-levels. So keep doing exercise on regular basis.